This week we're reading the account of the flood and the prophet Jeremiah. They each use the concept of uncreation. The good world that God has brought to order and filled with life is being unmade because of human sin. The flood occurs because every inclination of the human heart is only evil all the time. Likewise, for Jeremiah, there's a destruction that's coming because of the intense corruption in the people of Israel. So the flood happens, and ultimately everything is underwater again as it was at the beginning of creation. And Jeremiah sees a destruction coming on his people, where he says, "I looked on the earth, and behold, it was without form and void." But this uncreation isn't the last word. There is one righteous man, Noah, and because of him, after the flood, God remembers him, breathes his wind on the water as at the beginning, and you see all these parallels between the original creation and the aftermath of the flood. God is recreating the world. Meanwhile, he says in Jeremiah to search and see if you can find a man, one who does justice and seeks truth, so that I may pardon. God seeks to forgive, and in the middle of all of the dire warnings, we find the heart of our faith. One truly righteous man can turn back God's wrath and can bring us forgiveness. Meanwhile, we're also going to be continuing in John. The first half of John's gospel centers on 7 of Jesus' signs. These are miracles that aren't just acts of power. They give a glimpse of what God's kingdom looks like. So Jesus turns water into wine, and then we hear that he is going to give us living water. He raises up a lame man, and we hear that the dead will hear his voice, and those who hear will live, etc. Finally, the letter to the Thessalonians is written to a church that is nervous. Paul had been with them a short time and had been forced to leave because of persecution. They start to wonder when he doesn't come back, was he some sort of con man? And if he was, that makes our own faith questionable. So he goes and reassures them of his love and of the genuineness of their own conversion to Christ, and answers many other questions that they may have.